Welcome to Cross Culture New Mexico. I'm your host, Mark Tross. We're talking about the Tiflin, the Phylacteries, and the traditional Jewish observance. Jewish tradition developed two distinct parts to a set of Tiflin: Shel Rosh, designated for the head, and Shel Yad, designated for the hand. Shel Rosh consists of four individual compartments, each containing a parchment with handwritten passages from the Torah or the five books of Moses. Exodus chapter 13, verses 1 through 10. The Lord said to Moses, "Sanctify, consecrate, set apart to me all the firstborn males. Whatever is first to open the womb among the Israelites, both of man and of beast, is mine." And Moses said to the people, "Earnestly remember this day in which you came out from Egypt, out of the house of bondage and bondmen. For by strength of hand the Lord brought you out from this place. No leavened bread shall be eaten. This day you go forth in the month of Abib. And when the Lord brings you into the land of the Canaanites, Hittites, Amorites, Hivites, and Jebusites, which he promised and swore to your fathers to give you, a land flowing with milk and honey, a land of plenty, you shall keep this service in this month. 7 days you shall eat unleavened bread, and the seventh day shall be a feast to the Lord. Unleavened bread shall be eaten for 7 days. No leavened bread shall be seen with you, neither shall there be leaven in all your territory. You shall explain to your son on that day, this is done because of what the Lord did for me when I came out of Egypt. It shall be as a sign to you upon your hand and as a memorial between your eyes, that the law of the Lord may be in your mouth. For with a strong hand the Lord has brought you out of Egypt. You shall therefore keep this ordinance at this time from year to year." The other passage is Exodus chapter 13, verses 11 through 16. "When the Lord brings you into the land of the Canaanites, as he promised and swore to you and your fathers, you shall give it to you. You shall eat apart to the Lord all that first opens the womb, all the firstlings of your livestock that are males shall be the Lord's. Every firstborn of a donkey you shall redeem by substituting for it a lamb, or if you will not redeem it, you shall break its neck, and every firstborn among your sons shall you redeem. And when in the time to come your sons ask you, 'What does this mean?' you shall say to him, 'By strength of hand the Lord brought us out from Egypt, from the house of bondage and bondmen. For when Pharaoh stubbornly refused to let us go, the Lord slew all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, both the firstborn of man and of livestock. Therefore I sacrificed to the Lord all the males, the first opened the womb, but all the firstborn of my sons I redeem. And it shall be as I reminder upon your hand, and as frontlets between your eyes, for by a strong hand the Lord brought us out of Egypt." Now the third passage is Deuteronomy chapter 6, verses 4 through 9. "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord, the only Lord. And you shall love the Lord your God with all your mind and your heart and with your entire being and with all your might. And these words which I am commanding you this day shall be first in your own minds and hearts. Then you shall whet and sharpen them so as to make them penetrate, and teach and impress them diligently upon the minds and hearts of your children, and shall talk of them when you sit in your household, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up. And you shall bind them as the sign upon your hand, and they shall be as frontlets, forehead bands between your eyes. And you shall write them upon the doorposts of your house and on your gates." Now the significance of all this comes with specific prayers and sayings that are quite in depth, but I want to point out the arm piece here. Now this arm piece, of course, is really by where you take your blood pressure, and it wraps around 7 times around your forearm And notice around my ring finger and also my middle finger. Now, the significance of that is Hosea chapter 2, verses 19 and 20. I will betroth you to me forever. I will betroth you in righteousness and justice, in love and compassion. I will betroth you in faithfulness, and you will acknowledge the Lord. So we're going to close this segment off reading a new covenant book, Ephesians chapter 6, verses 10 through 20. In conclusion, be strong in the Lord, be empowered through your union with him, draw your strength from him, that strength which his boundless might provides. Put on God's whole armor, the armor of a heavy armed soldier, which God supplies, that you may be able to successfully to stand against all the strategies and the deceits of the devil. We are not wrestling with flesh and blood, contending only with physical opponents, but against the despotisms, against the powers, against the master spirits who are the world rulers of this present darkness, against the spirit forces of wickedness in the heavenly supernatural sphere. Therefore, put on God's complete armor, that you may be able to resist and stand your ground on the evil day of danger, and having done all the crisis demands, to stand firmly in your place. Stand therefore, hold your ground, having tightened the belt of truth around your loins, and having put on the breastplate of integrity and of moral rectitude and right standing with God, and having shod your feet in preparation to face the enemy with the firm-footed stability, the promptness, and the readiness produced by the good news of the gospel of peace. You can read Isaiah 52, verse 7, in reference to that. Lift up over all the covering shield of saving faith, upon which you can quench all the flaming missiles of the wicked one, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword that the Spirit wields, which is the word of God. Pray at all times, on every occasion, in every season, in the Spirit, with all manner of prayer and entreaty. To that end, keep alert and watch with strong purpose and perseverance, interceding in behalf of all the saints, God's consecrated people. And pray also for me, that freedom and utterance may be given me, that I may open my mouth to proclaim boldly the mystery of the good news, the gospel, for which I am an ambassador in a coupling chain in prison. Pray that I may declare it boldly and courageously, as I ought to do. Next time we'll talk about the relevance to the New Testament, about the Tiflim, the Phylacteries. Check out our website, crossculturenm.weebly.com, as well as look for us on Facebook, MySpace, Twitter, LinkedIn, and other social media sites.